Hello and welcome to a game between NEXSparta and a Korean Zerg player. NEXSparta will be playing as the red Terran player at the 12 o'clock position, while the other person will be playing as the blue Zerg player at the 9 o'clock position. This is G Your Face, and the map is going to be Lost Temple, and looks like at the very beginning NEXSparta has used one of his SCV to place a supply depot at the bottom of his ramp right next to his natural expansion. In the meantime, one drone from the other player will be coming inside of his base, and it's that time of the year again, you know, the time of gifting, regifting, and returning. It's the season of love and giving. That sounds much better. You've probably ran into this situation before where your love or your friend tells you she's got the perfect gift for you, and you just stare at her thinking, oh shit, I need to go buy something really quick like yesterday. And then it gets worse because she realizes your reaction, asks you, did you get me something? Now, before you say or do something really stupid that would jeopardize your relationship, the answer to that question is yes. Like if someone asked you if you want a free PS3, would you say no? Thumbs up for free PS3s. In any event, do not leave comments in the comment section regarding gift ideas for a female between 19 and 25. Thanks if you know what I mean, and if you don't know what I mean, don't do it or do it. In any event, this drone is still inside the base of NEXSparta. NEXSparta is going to have two barracks up momentarily, and this SCV is still chasing around that drone. That drone has been very helpful, even though he's probably not going to be able to make it out alive. And inside of his own base, he does have the hatchery out around 14 and the spawning pool around 15, I believe it was, and NEXSparta will be able to scout his opponent relatively soon with that SCV. Since he was scouted by his opponent around really early at the very beginning when he was building at the natural expansion, he probably knows his opponent is already at the 9 o'clock position. At this time, inside the base of the Zerg player, he does have the spawning pool about 80 or 70% finish, and this drone is probably going to go down. A lot of players might think it might be a good idea to put down the extract to seal the gas, but definitely not in this case, because there's going to be two barracks. He's probably not going to use his gas anytime soon. He probably wants a lot of Marines, which is what he has at the moment. He does have two Marines, and he does have two SCVs less than his opponent does, and he does kill off one of the drones that was trapped inside the base. And if we take a look at the income for both these players, looks like he is going to pull off a lot of those SCVs. That is a total of, let's click here, and it looks like around 11 SCVs with around 3 Marines, I believe. And the drone is going to be transferred to the natural expansion. His opponent does not yet know he is coming, but he will spot it with this drone at the middle of the map. He does place down one spine crawler, so now this is a very necessary defense for the Zerg player. He does pull down his drones, and they're going to have a fight. The Marines are going to win the battle for the Terran player if he's able to be careful here, but ooh, the Marines actually do get trapped within that pack of drones over there, and two Marines are still left behind, and the third Marine comes over and he needs to micro these Marines. He's not microing the Marines away, and he does kill off some of the drones, but a lot of the SCVs has already fallen, and the spine crawler is about to go up. That was not a very good harass by Sparta, but he is going to come in here, try once again. He wants to keep those SCVs within the range of those drones, and the spine crawler goes up. The spine crawler is going to attack the SCVs instead. You can actually use the spine crawler to target fire on the Marines if you want, because sometimes they're within range. They'll just hit the closest thing to them, not the wisest of choices, and the SCVs are now backing away. The army size does show 18 to 13, which is a huge advantage for the Terran player, especially because he has range, but he can't really engage here because there is a spine crawler. The income dab does reflect that the Terran player has a really big advantage because he has called down 2 mules to help, and those mules are really paying dividends at the early stage of the game. And the army size is at 21 versus 15. He only has 3 Zerglings, 1 Queen, and 1 Spine Crawler. He needs to make additional forces or additional Spine Crawlers. He will be making additional Spine Crawlers, it seems, and he wants to keep the Spine Crawler alive, but he doesn't want to move it because the moment he moves it, if the Terran player comes in, he will be in a lot of trouble. More Spine Crawlers and more Marines, and 2 more barracks are being built inside the base of Sparta. He does not have any gas at the moment. He is going to come in here with the 3 Marines, and there are some Zerglings on the high ground. You can't really shoot the Marines with those Zerglings, but I guess the Zerglings are just taking a nice look at the scenery, and it looks like there is going to be a total of 10 Marines coming out very soon from the barracks, and he knows he is in more trouble than he was before. He is going to put down the spine crawl. 1 spine crawl is going to pop, and the Marines are thinking about engaging, not engaging. More drones are being made at the moment, not Zerglings. I'm not sure if that's the best choice. The income tab does show that the Terran player is very well ahead of the Zerg player because of those mules and the continuous use of those drones for defense for quite a while there, and the player is thinking about moving in possibly. He does have a lot of Marines here. He has he's pulling off a lot of SCVs. He's only leaving about, I think, 4 SCVs and 1 mule to get his minerals, and we can see his income is plummeting, but he is going to come in here, try to do an all-in attack, and Evolution Chamber is being produced at the moment, and he's going to focus fire on one of the spine crawlers. SCVs are fighting, the Marines are not hitting the Zerglings or the Queen. If he can take down the Queen, possibly that might do him some good, but he is going to take down one of the spine crawlers. Another spine crawler is going to go down, and the Evolution Chamber does get cancelled. And the transfuse goes off on the spine crawler. Very, very critical transfuse there, and some Zerglings are going to spawn to possibly pick up on these Marines that are very, very weakened from the spine crawlers. That was not a very good harassment by Sparta, I think, but he is going to fall back momentarily here. Ooh, that was a very close one. Both players are still at the very primitive stage of this game. Both players are using the very first units they could possibly make, and the Marines are coming to the side, exactly what they need to do. Not getting surrounded by the Zerglings, and the spine crawler is forced to move, and he will be able to take down this Queen. And he does take down the Queen, however, but the spine crawler is going to come back online very soon. He is going to root himself once again. Not too effective of a harass. Both players losing a lot of minerals. Not quite sure who's ahead at this moment, as the Terran players does still have a little bit more income than his opponent because of those mules. Mules are really, really helpful for the early part of the game, making a huge difference, allowing the Terran player to stay in this game, even though he had pulled off more SCVs than drones from his opponent. And this set of Zerglings want to protect the spine crawler because spine crawler is very close to death. He needs time to regenerate. More Zerglings are being made at the moment, along with more and more Marines, and one spine crawler is being made slightly behind that one. I think he might want to consider moving this one back once the other one comes on, and there's going to be another creep tumor being spread, and the creep is really important. He really wants to know what his opponent is doing and thinking. At the moment, the army size is at 27 against 16, but he does have 2 spine crawlers in place. There's a lot of Marines. I think he could take this. He has 14 Marines versus 14 Zerglings, which is more than enough, and the Marines are moving back and forth, trying to get some picks on the Zerglings, and the spine crawler is going to go down momentarily. I think he is going to be... Ooh, he doesn't actually pick off the Marine at the very top. Ooh, he does pick it off this time. And the Marines are microing back very nicely, moving further and further away from those Zerglings. The units lost tab does reflect. Both players are still maintaining that slight disadvantage for the Zerg player, but the Zerg player is not making as much minerals. The Terran player is making a lot more with more harvesters as well. He does have those 2 barracks pumping out the Marines 4 times. He actually has 4 barracks, 2 extra barracks is what I mean. He will be building another command center. That is a very questionable move. I'm not sure if that is the best choice here, as his opponent is in a really deep hole, and if he makes more Marines, then he might be able to finish it here. He looks like he is going to back off, and there is a creep tumor over there at the moment. Both these players are very excited. If we take a look at their APM, it's very, very close to 200, ooh, 300 even for both these players. And the spine crawler that was very, very weakened will move to the high ground. A great idea for the Zerg player. And 2 refineries are coming up. It looks like NEXSparta has already decided to not go with this all-marine build, as he's making a command center. He will be letting the Zerg breathe a little bit more. I'm not sure if that is the best idea, as he does have the lead, and I think he is going to try to maintain that lead possibly. And more minerals are being gathered by the Terran player, while the Zerg player is going to be on 2 base, and the Terran player is going to work on his 2nd base as well. And every moment that goes by is the moment for the spine crawler to breathe and also regenerate some of his HP. Looks like those Marines will be moving out with the barracks and possibly take down this Overlord over here, and the Overlord is going to go down, leaving the Zerg player supply blocked at 25 of 20. Army size is at 30 to 25, and of course the Zerg player just got momentarily supply blocked. And it looks like the barracks has gotten tech lab, so we might see some Marauders on the field or some other units, and it looks like the command center will be morphing into an orbital command. And the 2 tech labs are going to be super important in this game, as the 1 barracks has already finished scouting around for the Overlord. The other Overlord had retreated, and these Zerglings do not have the Zergling speed, so they're not really good units at the moment, because the Zerglings really need a surround on the Marines, because if the Marines can micro away from the Zergling, it's not a very good usage of that unit, and the Marines are being, Marauders, excuse me, are being pumped out of these barracks, and 1 Marine will be coming out along with the rest of the units. And it looks like there will be 14 Marines and 2 Marauders. He could probably try to finish the game right now if he wants to, but there are more and more spine crawlers. I think the Zerg player does suspect that his opponent is going to try to finish it, as he does put down more and more static defense. And Stimpack is being researched by NEXSparta at the moment, as this is a very dangerous situation for the Zerg player, and the Terran is going to be coming in here. Does get his... Ooh, he actually canceled that creep tumor, which is very smart, because had he not canceled, he would have lost the ability to spread creep, as he does now when a scan goes off, and he does take down a lot of those creeps. So the Terran limiting the options of the Zerg player and limiting his vision, as well as more and more Marines are being pumped out of these barracks. He does have, I think, 2 Marauders at the moment, and the income tab does show that they're about even on both minerals as well as gas. I think the Terran has allowed too much time for the Zerg player to get back into this game. Possibly he is making SCVs double time with the 2 orbital commands, but he's not lifting them up just yet to expand. And there's going to be a total of 6 spine crawlers at this location, the 7th upcoming very soon, and these Marines are going to come in possibly to check out the location of his opponent, and it looks like he will be moving some of those barracks to wall off. And this is a very precarious situation for both these players. I think they have not really encountered this situation a lot, because a lot of these decisions seem to be made on the fly, and there's going to be a lot of Marines. There's going to be a total of 24 Marines with 2 Marauders moving into the base of the Zerg player. He will have, I think, a total of around 8 or so spine crawlers in place, 2 of them coming up, and he's going to step and he's going to run in, and a lot of these Marines are getting hit simultaneously. Those spine crawlers was able to deter that push, and he does cancel one of the spine crawlers, realizing he probably had too much of those static defenses. Having too much static defense is never a good idea, because it also sort of sets you back economy as well as for your army. And NEXSparta is still trying to finish his game, I think, as he's going to be making a factory. He might be thinking about taking up a little bit, or possibly getting a medevac to heal those units as he's getting attacked by those spine crawlers. The units lost tab does show the Terran has lost a little bit more than the Zerg, as that encounter was not very good for the Terran. And the army size is at 66 to 51 advantage for the Terran player, and the income tab does show that they're about the same on both minerals and gas, and it looks like the Terran player will be taking 1 less gas than the Zerg, as the Zerg is going to be on 4 gases, where the Terran player is only going to be on 3. And some more infantry units are being made, and a supply depot is being made over here. He does set those tech labs as well as the reactor. That's not why he's not lifting those barracks, because barracks would make a lot better of a barrier than these supply depots. Supply depots can be bailing busted, and bailing busts might be what is coming on the way. That is a horrible use of the English language, and bailing's nest is going to pop, and ooh, look, very pretty. And that's spider webs all around. There's going to be 1 reactor attached to, it looks like, the factory. Ooh, I thought he was going for medevacs for a moment there, and SCV is going to be scouting around the map for additional possible expansions for the Zerg player. Notice here the Marauders are positioned in front of the Marines. That will allow him time to slow down any bailings or Zerglings coming his way, allowing the Marines enough time to escape should they want to. And I think the Terran player is relatively happy at this moment, because he has found out that his opponent does not yet have the expansion, and the income tab does show that the Terran player is still ahead, and he is a little bit behind in terms of gas, though, as he only has 3, whereas the Zerg player only has 4. And this Zergling is sitting there very pretty, holding the others up like a watchtower, as he is going to scout around the map with his Zergling speed, allowing him to go a little bit faster. Centrifugal hooks along with a +1 armor is being researched at the moment for the Zerg player, and he will be met with a lot of those Marines, and they're not very pleased to see him. And 2 medevacs are going to be coming out, along with some of the... where's that factory? I lost the factory. Oh, there's a factory, and he will be getting tanks possibly on it, and there's going to be a lot of bailings. A lot of bailings are being morphed in at the moment, as I think the Zerg player is going to go for a counter push, possibly taking down the natural expansion or the main base of his opponent. I think that is what he's thinking about doing, and a lot more Zerglings are going to come on the field as well. A scan goes off, catching the glimpse of the bailings with their fully upgrade and it looks like he will be falling back. He possibly might want to put down a bunker right here, directly behind these 2 set of supply depots, because supply depots can easily explode to the bailings, and the bailings coming in, and the Marines and Marauders are going to fall, and a lot of them have died. Wow, that was a really good effective use of those bailings, and he's inside the mineral lines, and these units are on hold position, not something he wants. And why are the SCVs bunching up together at the missile turret? I don't understand. And that was a huge mistake, I think, for the Terran player. He does have some Marauders on the top of the ramp, which will prevent him from getting surrounded, and the siege tank is going to spawn and will take some damage from the Zergling, and additional bailings are coming in. He is going to go for another bailing bus, possibly going up the ramp into the main base of NEXSparta, but the main base of NEXSparta is very sparse in minerals. He really needs to find another way of getting income, as the army size is going to be at 57 to 82. The first time the advantage goes to the Zerg player. He is coming in with those bailings, and the bailings and the Zerglings are coming in. The Zerglings are coming in first, taking some of the fire off of the bailings, and the Marines blow up. He's coming up the ramp. Is he going to blow? He's going to blow up the supply depot at the bottom of the ramp. He is inside the base of his opponent, and and the Zerglings are getting surrounded on these Marauders. Marauders not doing anything. They're trying to dance around, trying to move, but not doing anything. And these SCVs, should they go down? The SCVs have gone down. All the SCVs are down, I think, except for 13 somewhere inside the main base, mining off of 2 patches, and the Zerglings are all over the place as they are able to get easily surrounding on these units that are left for the Terran player. I think the Terran player is in a huge bit of trouble as he is going to lift off. Oh, Terran. Oh, you. Always lifting off, and this orbital command is probably going to fly away or get repaired as well, as NEXSparta's base is being overrun by Zerglings at the moment. That's a lot of Zerglings. That is very, very creepy, especially from behind, and the buildings are being destroyed by the Zerglings at the moment, and that is probably not too much the Terran player can do unless he flies off everything. Ooh, he does lift off everything. He will be able to salvage some of those buildings, but the Zerg player is in a very commanding position. He does have a huge army, he does have a lot of capabilities, and it looks like a drop is going to occur on the side. He will drop off some of those units to possibly harass on the side, but very, very good play here from the Korean Terran player, Korean Zerg player, as he does have those spine crawlers in place, and he will be able to take down those infantry units that are shooting down upon him. And I think the Terran player has got to call GG relatively quickly here, as he really does not have too much option, as the Spire is going to be going down for the Zerg player, as the Zerg player with Spire is very, very powerful, especially if the Terran has absolutely no income, 0-0, and the army size is at 22 versus 83. I would have GG by now, but that is not the call of Sparta, as Sparta will fight down to the last man for Sparta, and Missile Turret is probably going to go down as well, even though I'm not sure that is the best usage of those Zerglings. And this command center is being repaired by SCVs. It looks like another command center is going to land on the side. Very, very funny positioning of that command center, and I think the Zerg player is going to probably spread out his Zerglings to look for any possible expansions, and there's going to be a lot of tech labs being attached to both the starport as well as the factory, maybe for some additional tanks and drops. But the first 8 mutalisks are going to come out on the field for the Zerg player momentarily, as he does have his base very, very well defended. He doesn't have too much defense against cloaking, but at the same time his opponent does not have any cloaking, and he does have one Marauder, however, on the side. And the medevac is coming in here, and he is going to drop on nothing, it looks like, and these mutalisks have spotted the medevac, will take it down very, very quickly. And www.youtube.com/GGYourFace is what NEXSparta means to say, and I'll see you guys in the next game. Thanks for watching.